Welcome to BeMoreNews.com. Ken Harris murder trial verdict. 2 of 3 found guilty of murder.
Shooting, it would seem that they shared or they joined the two, my client and the other criminal was found guilty of murder. So I don't think they singled out anybody else, or rather, I don't think they singled out my client, but they did obviously acquit the third person.
And your client's reaction to this verdict?
Obviously he was disappointed, as was I, as was all of the defendants and the other defense lawyers. But my client is a strong young man, and I advised him, the pretrial issues that we raised as to the DNA are going to have to be resolved by an appellate court, because mixture DNA, in my judgment at least, is not the holy grail in criminal cases as people think it is.
Can you maintain that through this, that you believe that DNA evidence should have been thrown out?
Yes, I think it should have been eliminated in this case. Obviously, Judge Ross disagreed, and now it'll be up to the appellate courts.
The jury, you also felt, was pretty engaged all through this. I mean, even all the way up to the end, don't you think? Can you give us just your description of the jury in terms of watching?
Well, this is all speculation, but some of the folks, it's always interesting when a verdict is announced and the jury comes into the courtroom. One of the keys that we look for in anticipating what the verdict is going to be is we look at the jurors as they come into the courtroom, and if they're looking at us, then that usually means good news for the defendants. If they're not looking at us, that means that it's not good news. What I watched was the whole panel while the verdict was being rendered. I mean, this took 15, 20 minutes to a half hour. And there was clearly dissension. They ultimately agreed on a verdict, but I do think that some of the jurors, in their heart of hearts, were not satisfied with the outcome.
Do you think they compromised?
Well, it's always a compromise when you have more than 2 people involved, and when you have 12, it's got to be a compromise.
One of the jurors was allowed to leave earlier. What was that all about? Because
just apparently she was upset, and the judge thought that it was probably better to allow her to be excused.
Was she upset about testimony that she heard, or was she?
It's not clear. I just noted that at some point the clerk indicated that she was upset.
Was this the verdict you were anticipating?
Say that again?
Is this the verdict that you were anticipating?
No, it's not.
Deliberations after the questions and everything?
No, not at all. Not at all. I anticipated that they would acquit all 3 defendants of all the charges, just based upon, again, the way I felt the police department handled the case.
So you don't believe your client killed former councilman Ken Harris?
Well, again, it's a question of the proof, and I was never convinced. I was never convinced.
And your name is, sir?
Jerome Bivens, Jerome Bivens.
And you're the attorney for?
Jerome Williams.
Good deal. Thank you very much. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.